So hello everyone and welcome back once again to the next session over design of roof truss with welded connection. So I repeat once again, design of roof truss with welded connection. Okay. So once again I'll remind you. So we have finished with two types of problems. That is problem number one. I have uploaded all the videos of problem number one, and we have discussed about problem number two also, and I have uploaded all the videos of problem number 2. So I request all of you to go through both the problems, and if you get any queries you can come back to me. Okay. So after problem number 1 and 2, I have started with the design of roof truss with welded connection. The design of roof truss with welded connection. Okay. So dear students, so from that I have finished the design of principal rafter. I would like to repeat, I have finished the design of principal rafter with welded connection. That is very important. Now today I have to complete the design of, I have to finish the design of main tie. But because of the time restriction, I'll not going to do the design of main tie. So what you have to do, you have to follow the same procedure what I did for principal rafter. You have to follow the same procedure what I did for principal rafter. Okay. So we have to finish the design of main tie by following the same procedure for what I have adapted for design of principal rafter. Now in this session I am going to discuss about how to design the main sling member. Okay. Now I request all of you to go through the design problem number 1, that is the design of roof truss with bolted connection. I have given a name as problem number 1. So before going to this, I request all of you to go through the video for problem number 1, so you can easily understand how to select area and how to choose the member from the steel table. I have discussed briefly each steps one by one in problem number 1. I am not going to repeat those steps. If you go through the problem number 1 and if you follow the same steps, only the changes, the connection design is changed. Okay. So here we are going to design the welded connection. There we have designed as a bolted connection. Okay. So with respect to that, I have finished the design of principal rafter, and for design of main tie you have to follow same procedure, and if you get any queries you can come back to me. Okay. You can email or you can write it over comments. Okay. Thank you. So the next part, that is the design of main sling member. Okay. So we are going to start with the design of main sling, that is UL2 U3. Okay. Okay. So the design of main sling. So the forces are here. Cu is equal to, that is the compression force is 193.2 kilonewton. The tensile force is 90 kilonewton. So now what you have to do, again you have to follow the same procedure here. So which force is maximum, that you have to find out first. Then after that you have to design for that particular force, and you have to check back again with the other force. Okay. So here the maximum force is compression. And next we have the tension force. So what you have to do? So we have to design that member to resist, or first of all you have to design for compression force, and later you have to do the connection design, and after connection design the same member what you have selected, that should be safe to carry the tensile force also. Okay. Now we will follow the procedure. Now what you have to do? You have to find out the area. Okay. So the maximum force is compression here, so you have to design as a compression member. Okay. So what you have to do here, the higher force is compression, so higher force is compression. The higher force is compression. So design as a compression member. And and check for tension. Check for tension member. Okay, check for tension member. Okay, so for that you have to find out the area of the member first. So PD is equal to FCD into area. So from this you have to get area, that is PD by FCD. PD by FCD. So as I told you students, you can assume FCD, value of FCD from 100 Newton per mm square to 150 Newton per mm square. You can assume the value of FCD. Okay, this is again by thumb rule. You can assume the value of FCD from 100 Newton per mm square to 150 Newton per mm square. So for example, we will assume again the area, that is the value of FCD we will assume as 150. So the 193.2 into 10 raised to 3 divided by it is 150. So we get area as 1288 mm square. 1288 mm square. Now what you have to do? You have to select a section. You have to select a section from steel table. Okay. So what you have to do? So let us try. So again you have to follow the same procedure. Okay. So you have to select double angle from steel table. Okay. Let us try 2 ISA 65 by 65 by 6. So for that the area is 1488, which is more than again what you have required. Okay, and the radius of gyration RXX is 19.8 and RYY is 30.4 mm. Okay. So therefore you have to find out the lambda, value of lambda. So lambda will be equal to KL by R minimum, lambda equal to KL by R minimum. Okay, so it is 0.853100. This already I told you in the problem number 1 how to get the length of member 3100. Okay, divided by 19.8. So we get the value of lambda is equal to 133.08 Newton. Okay, so the value of lambda is 133.08. Then what you have to do? After that, so you have to find out the value of FCD. So what you have to do? You have to interpolate between 130 and 140 by referring table number 9C of IS 800. By referring table number 9C of IS 800. You have to get the value of FCD. So this we get here 74.3, this 66.2. Okay, so we have to get the value for here 133.08. So you have to get the value of this after interpolation. So this is regarding the interpolation. Okay, so after interpolating we get the value of FCD as 71.8 Newton per mm square. Okay, then after by multiplying, so we get PD is equal to AE into FCD. Okay, AE is we have selected is 1488 into FCD is 71.8. Okay, 71.8. So we get here 106.83 kilonewton, which is again less than 193.2 kilonewton. That is nothing but the compression force, which is less than. So what does that mean? This much force is applying over the member, and the member what you have selected, it can carry a load of 106. मतलब इसका मीनिंग क्या है? हमारा member 106, the load carrying capacity of our member is 106, but the load applied over is how much? 193.2. So that's why it is not safe. Okay, it is not safe. Correct. So you have to, what you have to do? You have to revise this section by increasing area, or you have to go for higher section, so that we can have the load carrying capacity of the member more than this. So for that you have to choose higher section. You have to choose higher section because it is not safe. Now what you do? We will revise the section by choosing the higher section. Okay, understood? Okay, so as you got, the section is not safe. So as I told you, you have to choose higher section for that. Okay, so by revising, what you will do? So let us try 2 ISA again, 75 by 75 by 8. Let us try 2 ISA 75 by 75 by 8. So for that we have area 2276 point, okay, 2276 mm square we have. Then so for that the value of lambda, again the slenderness ratio KL bare minimum. Okay, so it is 0.85 into 3100, and the R minimum from steel table we get it here. It is 22.8. okay, 22.8. so we get here 115.57. we get the value of lambda as 115.57. again what you have to do? You have to go back to table number 9C. so table number 9C, IS 800 2007. okay, this is important again. okay, table number 9C, IS 800 2007. From that you have to find out the value of FCD. So for that again you have to interpolate. You have to interpolate between, okay, you have to interpolate. So we get here 410 and 420. okay, 110 and 120. 110 is 94.6 and 120 is 83.7. okay, these two values we have, and we have to interpolate for 115.57, and after interpolation we get here 88.38. so the value of FCD we get here, it is after interpolation 88.38 Newton per mm square. So therefore the value of PD will be AE into FCD. So here the area is, we have got 2276. So 2276 into the FCD is 88.38. okay, so therefore here it will be, the PD will be 201.16 kilonewton, 201.16 kilonewton, which is more than 193.2 kilonewton, means the force or the load carrying capacity of the member is 201.16 and the load applied over the member is 193.2. so it is safe. The member what you have selected is safe. Now next what you have to do? You have to go for connection design. Okay, you have to go for the design of connection. Okay, so here we have, okay, so we have selected 2 ISA 75 by 75 by 8, okay, which is connected to gusset plate. So this is the gusset plate and we have two angles back to back. Can you see here? This is the cross section. This is very important, okay, to understand. We have in between gusset plate and we have two angle sections back to back connected by welding. So what you can see in the blue color, it's a welding. So our aim is we have to find out what is LW1 and LW2, and the force acting over this member is how much? This force is 193.2. okay, 193.2 kilonewton, and to resist that we have to design the LW1 and LW2. So LW1 and LW2, so this will be P1 and P2. So what does it mean? P1, P2 means P1 is the force offered by LW1 and P2 is force offered by LW2. Means what does it mean? Whatever the force applied over the member, that will be resisted by, I repeat once again here, whatever the force applied over the member, that will be resisted by length of LW1 and LW2. Means P1 and P2. So what does it mean? It should be here. So here it should be P1 plus P2 will be equal to 193.2 kilonewton. Correct? Means whatever the force is applied, that should be equal to P1 plus P2. Okay. So P1 means force offered by LW1. P2 means force offered by LW2. And with respect to this, again by using the same calculation, we get the value of P1 by taking moment about P1 about P2 or P2 about P1. We get the value of P1 equal to 138.7 kilonewton and P2 will be 55.126 kilonewton. So we got these two. Okay, we got these two. So by using the variance theorem, P1 by taking moment of P1 about P2 or P2 about P1, okay, we get the value of P1 and P2. Then what you have to do, you have to design the connection. You have to find out the length of weld LW1 and LW2. Okay. So for that, okay, so I'll write here design of connection. Design of connection. So for that, you have to find out the strength of weld FWD. Strength of weld FWD, okay, which is given by area of weld into Fu divided by root 3 into gamma m W. Okay, so area of weld is again the thickness of weld into LW into Fu is 410 divided by, it is given as root 3 into gamma m W as 1.5. okay, 1.5. So we get FWD here in terms of LW. So we get, so as I told you how to calculate TE. So TE we have taken here 4.2 mm. So in the previous session I told you how to get the effective thread thickness T, the effective throat thickness T of the weld. Okay. So from this we get FWD, that is 662 point, okay, 662, I'll rewrite here, 662.79 in terms of LW. Okay. So by equating this LW to P1 and P2, we get LW1 equal to LW2 equal to, that is we get LW1 as we get LW1 as, okay, here as I told you, 1 minute. So here we get LW1 as 208.31 mm. Then next we get here 83.17. Okay, as I told you, you have to round off that again. We can round up that. Okay, so we get here it is 210 mm and here it is 85 mm. So you have to round up that. Okay, so for higher values, and you have to utilize that. So here we got, here it is as, here we got here in the diagram, if I want to show. Okay, so this we got it as 210 mm and this is how much you got, 85 mm. This we got 85 mm. This we got 85 mm. Correct? Understood? Okay, so as I told you, after the design of connection, you have to go for what? You have to go for next is, the next step is, the next is design strength as a tension member. Design strength as a tension member. Design strength as a tension member. So in that I told you how to check the design strength of the member. So there are three criteria here. One is strength due to yielding, strength due to yielding. Then we have strength due to rupture. Then we have third one is strength due to block shear. Block shear. So these are the three criteria. From this we check okay, or we estimate the strength of tension member. Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow. You have to find out the strength of the member with respect to yielding, rupture and block shear. In all the three cases, the strength of the member should be more than, so here I'll write here. So in all the three cases, the strength of the member should be more than the applied force, that is the applied force over the member is, I think, 90 kilonewton. The TU is 90 kilonewton. The applied force on the member is 90 kilonewton. Means in all the three cases, this I have told you in the previous session how to calculate. Okay, how to calculate I have discussed in the previous session. So you have to follow the same steps and you have to calculate. So we get here, so the strength of the member in all the three cases should be more than 90 kilonewton. So in that case, the member will be safe. The member what you have provided, it will be safe. Okay, so this is regarding the design of sling member. Okay, so we have finished with bolted roof truss as well as welded roof truss. Okay, so means I repeat once again, we have finished here the design of roof truss with bolted connection as well as welded connection. Okay, so in problem number 1 and problem number 2, I have covered the design of roof truss with bolted connection, and this is the third problem, that is over the design of roof truss. Okay, that is by using the welded connection. Okay, so you have to go through all the three videos, all the three sessions. Okay, all the three sessions over the problem number 1, sessions over problem number 1, videos over problem number 2, and as well as the videos over problem number 3. And over these three videos or the three sessions, not videos, sorry, the three sessions, if you get any queries, so you can contact me or you can write it over comment box. Okay, thank you very much.